The game has over 200 dungeons, all handcrafted.
Bullshit!
Well, we've certainly touched all the figurative bases when it comes to cinemasculinity, haven't we, Rageaholics? Since the inaugural episode kicked off with a review of the 1986 Stallone classic Cobra.
I got a bomb here! I'll blow this whole place up!
Go ahead. I don't shelter.
We've plowed headlong through the feckless filmography of some of the greatest piles of steely-jawed musculature that personifies the entirety of the 1980s. Stallone.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Norris.
It's time.
Seagal.
Yo, fuck nuts! You talking to me?
Thor.
I like it.
Ventura.
My box says VD, trust me.
Lundgren. And, of course, the apotheosis of all things manly, Kristen Kruk.
Stay with it, stay with it.
But it's only when you think you've finished swabbing the poop deck that some pencil-necked walking douche smirk happens along and says you missed a spot. And that spot's name is Schwarzenegger. Ah, Schwarzenegger. What can you say about Arnold that hasn't already formed the basis for a marital indictment?
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym, I'm getting the feeling of coming at home, I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people, I get the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night.
In the 1980s, this motherfucker was raking in more cash than a clean whore in Bangkok, and for my money, if you're planning to survey Schwarzenegger, then the richest vein is without question an independent art house feature, more of a celluloid Socratic exercise, from the director of the previous Rageaholic centerpiece, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
You have the right to be dead.
And the screenwriting wunderkind that brought you Teen Wolf 2...
You just hit me with a dead frog.
Jerk.
...comes fucking Commando! How do you shatter the proverbial champagne bottle and christen the audience in preparation for a fearsome deluge of steroid-infused testosterone-kinetic action, you inquire? Well, by opening the film up in a suburban neighborhood watching garbage men ply their trade. Fuck yeah? Then, of course, the lightest sleeper on the planet Earth wakes up to take his garbage out, at which point the garbage men whip out some Uzis and make him holier than Prometheus's plot. And speaking of which, if you're somehow under the impression this random act of unsolicited kick-ass 80s violence will eventually be justified or even vaguely alluded to within the course of the movie at large, you are motherfucking mistaken, because Commando doesn't so much have a plot as a smattering of action set pieces whose sole reason for existing is to call further attention to the protagonist's oily, rippling man boobs, like a mescaline-fueled butt sex orgy at the Freddie Mercury estate, but with more libidinous homoerotic overtones. When the sanitation slayings were at last introduced to a Germanic golem by the name of John fucking Matrix, having likely emerged from single-handedly perpetrating all deforestation on the American continent, taking time to pose dramatically in front of conveniently placed lens flare, and in so doing pioneering the sole character trait of every single Final Fantasy antagonist. From here, the film hangs a hard left down Diabetes Boulevard, and I beshit you not, this footage is unretouched. This is the actual, honest-to-God fucking soundtrack during this ceaseless procession of Sacker and Kodiak moments. Man, I don't give a fuck if the credits are rolling or not. If that music is playing, there better be goddamn ninjas in the trees.
Ninjas!
What's in this?
You don't want to know.
Well, actually, I used some celery sauce. Jesus, fuck a plot device! Left with a frightened daughter and a badly wounded black guy who I'm sure has a long and healthy life ahead of him, Mr. Matrix heads off to his password-protected murder shed while Alyssa Milano cowers under the bed and marvels at her rapidly thickening arm hair. With a few light armaments in hand, Mr. Matrix heads back to... Fuck! I mean, what kind of Rain Man fucking terrorist sees a discernible tactical advantage in propping a random corpse against a door like that? Oh, I guess the same kind with a pencil-thin 70s porn mustache and the spry, youthful hairline of Steve Buscemi. Turns out in the past 5 fucking seconds, he's somehow killed a wily black dude and kidnapped a bitch with adequate time to spare for corpse propping. Let's see, just kidnapped a man's daughter, completely unarmed, John's armed to the teeth, you're sitting in a chair at perfect shotgun height with a forehead large enough to dead-eye from fucking orbit. What could possibly go wrong here?
Your daughter's safe, Colonel. Whether she stays that way is up to you. My people got some business with you. And if you want your kid back, then you gotta cooperate. Right?
Wrong.
Needless to say, it isn't long before Arnold finds himself on the wrong side of 7 assault rifles and winds up being captured. Mustache? Check. Cut off gloves? Check. Chainmail? Folks, I think we may have an antagonist.
Bennett, I thought you were...
Dead? You thought wrong. Ever since you had me thrown out of your unit, I've waited to pay you back. Do you know what today is, Matrix?
Bennett unfurls the most diabolical revenge plot I'd get laid eyes on by shooting him with a tranquilizer dart. Oh, okay, saving the best for last. I get it. Deferred gratification. I can dig it.
Sully will make sure you get on the plane. Enriquez will stay with you. Make sure you get off. I don't hear from either one of them.
She's dead.
Wait, you're leaving him without handcuffs on and he's guarded by Doogie Howser and this dude? Even his mustache is out of shape. So, of course, the moment he gets 3.5 seconds alone with his walking pair of love handles, he hits him so hard the fucking plane moves, then murders the motherfucker right where he sits. Inconspicuous. But not as inconspicuous as this pun.
And do me a favor. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
Jeff Loeb, for writing that line, I could actually fuck you. So Arnold somehow escapes the plane during takeoff by latching onto the wheel that should have retracted 5 fucking minutes ago and dropping 60 feet Owen Hart style into a body of water so shallow it doubles as Ron Paul's foreign policy. This movie didn't just jump the shark, folks. It landed on the nose of said shark and performed fucking river dance. And yet if you change a single frame of this movie, I will hire a hairy Italian enforcer to punch you in the nuts for 50 straight fucking minutes. Schwarzenegger runs so fast, not only is he instantly dry, but the body of water he just emerged from magically turns into a desert. What logic? Arnold tails Doogie back to the airport parking garage where he's busily accosting the least relevant supporting character in contemporary cinema.
You know, I got something I'd really like to give you.
I'm not interested.
Aw, you don't know what you're missing.
From here, it looks like a nightmare. Would you please leave me alone?
You fucking whore.
Just then, fucking Schwarzenegger! How you let an oily Austrian mountain sneak up behind you is well fucking beyond me, but as you'll learn over the course of this film, Shaquanda shoulder pads over here isn't exactly setting the world ablaze with a raw intellect.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on or what?
No.
No! No!
After a merry chase through a shopping mall that results in Arnold killing every rent-a-cop in greater suburbia, and an obligatory 80s action movie car chase that registers a meager 3 David Carradines out of 5 on the Rageaholic scale from 1 to Death Race, at long last Doogie Howser's convertible capsizes, and he finds himself face to man-boob with the almighty Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have to remind you, Sally, this is my weak arm.
You can't kill me, Matrix. You need me to find your daughter.
Where is she?
I don't know. But cook those. I'll take you where I'm supposed to meet her.
But you won't.
Why not?
Because I already know.
Oh,
You remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
that's right, Matrix. You did.
I lied.
Okay, I don't give a fuck how preposterously huge you are. How does any human being that isn't freebasing rhino semen push over a car exactly? That's fucking remarkable. Remarkable, but still missing something.
What'd you do with Sully?
I let him go.
God bless America, land that I love. After heading out to a random motel at the behest of a conveniently placed clue in Doogie's vest pocket and committing yet another hate crime, Arnold decides that before he croaks this toad, it's time to stock the fuck up. Ah, an army surplus store. Well, you're certainly overshooting the camouflage cargo pants fashion trend by about 10 years, but sweet gentle Jesus!
What's that? that?
Rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Had to be done.
Please! Don't even think about it.
Yeah, sure, this is the time the cops decide to show up. Not when sanitation workers are gunning down pedestrians in the motherfucking street. Not when children are being kidnapped by coked-up terrorists 5 seconds after the military was already there. They show up to stop some glorified shoplifting. Granted, bashing a fucking tractor through the front wall is pretty goddamn glorified, but the point still stands. The boys in Blasé haul Mr. Matrix off in a paddy wagon, leaving Madame Curie over here alone with military-grade explosive weaponry. And if it seems like she's preparing to murder two police officers in cold blood with a quad-barrel rocket launcher, that's only because she fucking is.
What the hell was that? God! Jesus Christ!
So in the past 5 hours, Arnold has murdered 3 dudes, been in more fights than a butcher at a PETA rally, won high-speed chase, blown up 2 cops, stolen illegal weaponry, and slammed a construction implement into the side of a goddamn building. If this were Grand Theft Auto, this motherfucker would have more stars than Canis Major. Where the fuck is the National Guard? And then shit gets real. Arnold shows up on nondescript Evil Bastard Island, and within a span of 5 fucking seconds, blows up absolutely everything. The base, the island, you, me, his own marital fidelity, every single microbe of organic matter in the known universe is single-handedly incinerated by Arnold Schwarzenegger. This fucker has killed more brown people than dengue fever. With the front door blown the fuck in, we have Arnold, a machine gun, endless waves of South American drug cartel bullet sponges, and a waist with more grenades than belt loops. Cling fast to your dicks. This is going to be fucking amazing. May I field a query of where in nebulous fuck these people are even coming from? Ground control to John Matrix, there are officially no brown people left to kill. You're gonna have to fuck Shaquanda, wait 9 months, and shoot her offspring. But of course, no sprawling island mansion is complete without its very own subterranean murder factory. Alyssa Milano, sensing imminent child abuse, flees from Bennett, who's evidently only just remembered that he's still in this fucking movie. In hot pursuit of his daughter and her NAMBLA sponsor, Arnold instead finds himself ambushed by Major Mustache.
Bennett, stop screwing around and let the girl go. It's me that you want. I have only one arm. You can beat me. Come on, Bennett. Throw away that chicken shit gun. I just want to pull a trigger, to put a knife in me, and look me in the eye, and see what's going on in there when you turn it. That's what you want to do, right? I'm gonna kill you, John. Come on, let the girl go. It's between you and me. Don't deprive yourself of some pleasure. Come on, Bennett. Let's party.
Are you shitting me? You're Arnold Schwarzenegger circa 1985. You have Bengal tigers for arms. Conversely, Bennett has hairy pipe cleaners. John Matrix is gonna wear you like an oven mitt. Run, Bennett! Flee for your fucking life! Shit. In the surprise of the 20th century, Bennett fares about as well as a balsa wood chair in Jim Sterling's living room. Arnold makes a masterful comeback against a middle-aged, wildly out-of-shape opponent with considerably less training and combat skill. Huzzah! But as we all know, it ain't over until the fat lady's impaled with a fucking pipe.
Shoot you between the balls!
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Cut and fucking print. If you haven't yet achieved sexual release, it is legally imperative that you hand over your penis license immediately. Granted, if you condense this film down to only its most gleaming moments of wit, dialogue, and plot, you'd be left with no movie. But if, like me, you ask for nothing more from your action cinema, than bullets, titties, explosions, and arcing fountains of blood, then Commando is an immutable monument to fully engorged machismo. If you must kneel before the towering obelisk that is Schwarzenegger, and really who with a functional crank does not, then I ask that you do so with repeated viewings of motherfucking Commando, preferably while shrieking the words, "Fuck yeah!" in a tremulous hair metal falsetto like I have, while wearing nothing but a cowboy hat, a riding crop, and a scowl. Don't judge me, asshole. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
Killing spree. Ludicrous kill. Monster kill. Godlike headshot.